Know what we're probably fixing to do? Is it rolling and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, we're fixing to start rolling live here and doing the initial interview and psychic walkthrough as well. Okay. Now, let's see if we
What
can get
day is
going
it?
here. Hi guys, I'm Doyle with Southern Paranormal.
Take two.
Do you know what day it is?
April 9th. What year?
2016.
They watch me say that. Hi guys, I'm Doyle with Southern Paranormal. Tonight we are back at the Deason House in Ellisville, Mississippi. It's April 9th, 2016. This is our second time here. The first time we had a lot of great things happen here. We had voices that were caught, EVPs that were caught in the long room, children's laughter. We had personal experiences as well here. Tonight, we're going back in. We brought a special guest with us, Tracy Ray, psychic and medium. She's going to give us a walkthrough and tell us what she feels. She's already picked up on a lot, and she's nailed a lot on the head, I'm going to tell you. We're here with Lacey, and your group is GCOM. It's another paranormal group out of Meridian, am I correct?
Yes, and I'm also a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and we own the home.
Oh, awesome. So you've got a lot of personal experience that you can share with us as well.
I do.
All right. Well, y'all come along. We're fixing to go in, and we'll start, I guess, what room is best starting?
Probably start in the parlor.
Parlor?
That's usually where we start out.
We'll follow you on.
Okay.
Hold on, I want to get shots of y'all coming into the room.
Hold on. Hey, I'm going to get a shot from you. Talking about in here or going in there? Just walk, huh? I'll get ahead of us. Okay. Good idea. Fall over too. And this room, this is where we actually capture the children's laughter coming from. What can you tell us about this room?
Well, this room is one of the original rooms. The house has 4 original rooms, and this is one of them. One experience that I've had, my husband was a skeptic when we first met, and he stayed the night in this house and got touched in this room and became a believer. He was sitting in that chair right there, and something touched his head 3 times, and after that he was hooked. There are lots of reports of children's voices. Children's voices have been called on EVP in here.
Is this the only room that has captured children's voices or laughter or anything, or is it throughout the house?
Sometimes it's throughout the house, but the children normally stay in this room. I'm not exactly sure why. But I've heard whispers in here. I've heard voices. But the big thing is that chair will rock on its own. I was here one night, the first night I stayed in this house, we had monitors set up in the other room, and we watched the rocking chair rocking by itself. We also have a Halloween open house and reenactment here every October, and one of the ladies that was working, one of the DAR ladies that was working, was in here by herself, and the chair began to rock, and she watched it rock. She was sitting on this little fanning couch, it rocked, and then it just stopped. And there had been no one in here at the time. So that's another claim. The same night that my husband got touched, her daughter got pinched in that chair. So there's something about that chair that's their chair.
Yeah, I think it's just the location.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think earlier when I came in here, the furniture's different, and it's the way that it's set up. I want to say there was 2 chairs there, 2 chairs here. The way that I'm seeing it back then, so yeah, it's a little bit different.
What do you feel in this room? Do you feel it's children?
I do feel that there is children in here, yes, and a lot of energy is coming through the passageway also. You know, when we walked through Earth, and I walked around the,
It's like maybe like a playroom for them or something? Or?
yes, I do believe that, because this was really a small house. So when there were people in here, the women stayed in the back is what I want to say. Men outside, children stayed in here.
It's quite
really wasn't-
possible.
Yeah, because when I remote viewed, I saw the house is very small, not nothing like what it is now. So,
Now, also, when we were talking earlier, you were on the way here actually. She was telling me she feels there's two Amoses.
yes, yeah.
And I had no idea what it was or anything. What'd you find out?
Right, well, I couldn't, whenever we first came here, I kept getting like animosity, anger, deception, and something was going on with two Amoses. And one Amos passed away on a different date than the other Amos, and I was so confused, like, what Amos is this, you know? So that's when I asked you, and you're like, I don't know. I'm like, well, great. So I started telling her about it, and you know, she didn't want to say nothing. She's like, I don't know what I need. I want to say, like, just validate that it was doing. She's like, yes. I said, oh, God, thank you, because now I'm not crazy, you know? So there was two Amoses. It was the Amos that actually owned the house, and it was the Amos that actually got murdered in the house. So that explains a lot, you know, on, you know, the one that actually got killed, and then the animosity that was coming from the other two men that I felt that were here on that date, because I was picking up four. So I picked up four 3 times, and were the 4 rooms, and then the 4 men, and then apparently the 4 orbs came out of your head.
That's something that we hear about in the next room here, one of your persons.
Now, I will tell you something that's a little bit interesting about this particular room as far as the historical aspect goes. A group from the University of Southern Mississippi came, they're in the dendrochronology department, and they did what they study tree rings and climate and things like that. And they did what they call a coring, where they take wood samples and they can date how old the wood was down to the season when it was cut and the year that it was cut. And some of the wood that is in the attic over this room and under the house was actually cut in the 1700s.
Wow.
And this house was built in 1845, around about
That's the day I got when I
1845.
talked to you the first night, was 1845.
That's when we think the house was built in that time period. What the professor at USN is assuming is there was possibly fur traders in the area in the 1700s that had built some type of structure, because this was all piney woods when the Deasons moved here. And they think possibly they built some type of structure during the fur trading days, and that original structure was here, and the Deasons tore it down and used some of the wood, repurposed it for their house.
There's also something else in here too that Tracy picked up on. She was talking about a crawlway or crawl space or whatever.
Crawl space, yeah.
Isn't there something
It's right there.
over here?
Yeah, 'cause when we were walking outside before we got inside, I kept getting that there was one, and then when we passed the one outside, I really didn't feel that was the one it was, but it triggered something. And
It was much larger when the Deasons lived here. It has been made
Closed in.
smaller,
What was the purpose
closed
of
in.
this?
It was actually, this fireplace went all the way through to the other bedroom, the bedroom behind here, and there was like an access to the attic some way, but the story, the family history says that Miss Deason used that to hide Confederate soldiers in.
Confederate soldiers that were trying to turn good, or, never mind, got it all confused. That's Union, never
Well,
mind.
Confederate soldiers that were turncoats from or against the.
I'm not exactly
That-
sure.
just-
I'm not exactly sure.
it's
That's
some
just
type
what
of
the
deception.
oral history
Okay.
says. I do know that about 5 or 6 miles south of here, well, I guess southeast of here, there was a battle, a skirmish actually, and there is a historical marker there that took place between the Confederates and the Union, and some of the wounded soldiers, both Confederate and Union, were brought here
Okay.
after the skirmish happened. And we'll talk more about that in another room.
The one you're talking about is the murder room, as they call it.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
We can go in there right now. We can. I think.
I'm not standing in the spot.
You need to be like a stillborn girl.
But this room that we're standing in now, I think, is nicknamed the murder room, correct?
Yes.
And you've had some experiences, and even your group has had some experiences in here as well, right?
Yes, definitely in this room. This is one of the hot spots in the room. This was the actual room where Major Amos McLemore was shot. And he was shot, the story, legend has it, that he was standing in front of the fireplace and Nick Knight threw open the door because out there was a back porch. It was not a room, it was a wraparound porch. He threw open the door and shot him in the back and escaped into the night. And Major McLemore fell to the ground, fell to the floor, and bled out on the floor. And the family story says that they couldn't get rid of the blood stain,
That's what I was
and they
saying. I
had
heard something
to
about
actually put down a new floor. I will tell you that the blood stain is still under the house. When that group from USM came, they crawled all over here, and they said it is still on the floor joist under the house. Yeah,
Wow,
it is
okay.
there.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's run down or something now, if I've heard correctly.
Yeah.
It's a subfloor.
Yes, yeah.
So, and y'all probably had a lot of paranormal groups over the years come through here. Has this been one of the major hotspots in here?
Yes, yes. In the month of October, we do an open public ghost hunts. Pay $20 and be a ghost hunter for a night. And I have actually been in this room on one of those public hunts where that bed shook. Shook so hard that the flashlight came on that was laying on it.
Wasn't there something about some marks that's left in the floor?
That was the first night that G-Con came here. I was sitting on the bed, and Justin was sitting, Justin is he's our leader, I guess you'd say. He was sitting in a chair in front of this door, and something pulled him out of the chair.
I saw the video, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I do have video evidence of that.
And hopefully we'll get it to put it on our video.
Yes, I will be glad to get that to you. And after we scared me to death, and I screamed like a little girl and ran out the door. And when we went out and rewound the video and watched it, there were 4 orbs that flew down into my head, sitting on that bed.
And again, the number 4, huh?
Mm-hmm, right.
The number, the number 4.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
that's what I said earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, man, where's the other 4 coming in? Then when you said that story, I'm like, oh wow, maybe that's what it was.
And we've gotten lots of EVPs in this room. There was one night that myself and one of the ladies was here with the newspaper staff from the junior college, Jones Junior College, which is right down the road. And it was it was October, and we were promoting our open house, and they were doing an article on the house for us. And we just brought them in, and I brought in a digital recorder, and we were playing with the spirit box. And very plainly, and I wish I had brought that, that would have been awesome. Very plainly, I'll try to. Because unfortunately it's a cheap one and it doesn't have a pluggy anythingy. Anyway, we were all in this room and there were no other people in the house. Everyone that was here was in this room. And in the audio, you can hear the spirit box. And all of a sudden, you hear an EVP that is not from the spirit box, that is a hysterical woman shrieking, "Buddy, there's somebody in the attic." We did not hear this at the time. After we got done in here, we went out into the sunroom. I have a video of that I can send you.
Awesome.
I have a video of that. We went out into the sunroom, and the video is of us listening to the recording, and you don't hear us. I mean, all of us were listening to the recording, and we all heard it, and the looks on our faces, because we did not hear it with our ears, but very distinctly, this hysterical woman, "Buddy, there's somebody in the attic."
Wow.
And we don't have any idea who that is or why they were in the attic.
Awesome. What are you picking up in here?
Well, I just wrote down, y'all were saying that you were getting a lot of children in that room there, which I was too. But when I walk in here, I feel like this is what that's what their bedroom was. Back in the day. Yeah, the kids' bedroom.
Actually, this was the Deason's bedroom.
This was, okay.
Yeah. And the reason Major McLemore was here is because he was friends of the Deasons, and when the Deasons would have company, they would let their company use their bedroom, and they would sleep upstairs in the attic.
Okay. The Deasons would.
The Deasons would.
Okay.
Now, the home has only had 4 owners. The Deasons, one of their granddaughters married an Anderson, and they had children, and they had it.
Okay.
And then it stayed in the Deason family, and then the Smiths, who were part of the Andersons, stayed in the Anderson-Deason family. They owned it, and then in 1990 they deeded it to the DAR.
Okay.
It could have been one of the Andersons
Got
that
it.
used this as a bedroom.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
There's
That would make sense.
Because they had 10 kids. So they had to have somewhere to put 10 children.
Okay.
So,
good Lord.
and that's when they added on the back of the house,
Yeah, that's
was
a lot.
when they lived here.
And there's another room that y'all refer to as the long room.
The long room. Yeah, we'll
That's
get
where
there
I had my
next.
experience at. Look, we'll go there and we talk a little
I've
bit
had
there.
experiences in there too.
My head's sticking out too.
Actually, be better if we did.
I've got to record it before this anyway. Make it as far as I want to be. Just getting a little closer to the end, probably. All right, take it over. All right, we're in what's referred to as the long room. I think this used to be a surgical room at one time.
Actually, it was a bedroom. From these posts on the walls forward is original to the house. The rest of it was back porch. When the members of the DAR were restoring the house to begin with, when they took down the wallpaper, they found blood splatters on the wall. And through some investigation, oh really?
Yeah, I'm getting nauseated. Yeah, I hadn't even, I don't know why, but I have totally walked past that door the whole night.
I will tell you, this is my least favorite room in the house. It is my least favorite room. I'm not exactly sure why.
That explains all the amputation that I've seen too.
Yeah, because as I was saying in the parlor, when they brought the wounded soldiers here, they put them in this room, and the local doctor was here to see about them.
And usually any kind of shot, wound, meant amputation.
Yeah.
At that time.
Did they ever find bones in the back? In the yard?
Not that I'm aware
Okay, I'll
of.
have to walk that.
Feel something back
Yeah,
there.
well, I did earlier too, and that's where the amputation came in. But I totally just ignored this room, and now I know why I ignored this room. That's why.
One of the experiences that I've had in this room, we were here with a paranormal group, a different group, because there always has to be a DAR member on site when someone's here. My husband got touched again in this room.
They like him.
They like to touch him. And he had his hands like this, and he took his hands apart, and you could feel a cold breeze going between his
It was
hands.
22 degrees difference.
Really?
Yeah.
One side of my hand and between my hands.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a sensation of having your hands together and you separate them, the sensation of sweat, but it wasn't. With a temperature gauge, it was 22 degrees difference from the
That's
outside
a
of my hands.
huge difference.
Yeah. And you could feel the air moving between his hands.
And I was sitting right here.
And
And there's no air on in the house.
no,
We
no.
turned it off for investigating.
And that night, there was an overpowering smell of unwashed bodies
Really?
and sweat in this room.
Musk.
Musk. Like dirty bodies, maybe horse
Wet
flesh, just a musky smell. Everybody in the room smelled it that night.
This is one of the main ones where I had my experience in. We had a REM pod go off in here, and another friend that it was just me and him in here, and he was running the cameras. He came, well, we had a REM pod set up in here, and the REM pod went off just big time. I walked in here, when I walked in here, it was just like a static charge that just went over me. And I felt that before, but he had never felt that, so I called him in, and when he walked in, he didn't feel it standing by the door, and I thought he was walking over by the table. When he came by the table, you know, his eyes would be around the silver dollars, and, you know, I asked him if he felt it, he said, So, I mean, that was the skeptic there, and I think that starts to change him a little bit there. But that was just a personal experience. There's no way to validate it other than what I had on video, just showing the hair standing up, you know,
Right.
but, you know.
One investigation that GCOM did here, we had a motion detector set up where that table is, on the corner of that table. There was no one in the room. We were standing at the doorway, and the motion detector is going off as we're all standing there looking at it. We go outside to the trailer, and we have live audio going. The motion detector is still going off in this room.
Awesome.
Yeah. There's been, the parlor, some nights, I guess when the kids feel like playing, it's a good one. The murder room is always a hot spot. This is always a hot spot. And what we call Ma's room is always a hot spot.
Yes, I forgot about that. Have y'all had any experiences in there, or you know
Yes.
others that have?
Yes.
We'll
Yes.
go in there. So I think y'all got some memorabilia, some dresses, and that were actually belong to.
The Deasons.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go in there. I like to see them. Take the sheet across it.
No, go.
Y'all both running? Oh. So this is called
We call this Ma's room.
Ma's room.
It's also called the summer boarding room because when the Andersons moved in here, they added on the back half of the house, and this is the addition. And if you look, you can tell that the windows used to be higher,
You're right.
and so the heat would rise in the summer, and it was cooler in here for giving birth in the summer. This was also the Andersons' bedroom. And that picture right there is the second owner of the house, Isaac Anderson Jr. And he and his wife raised 10 children here. These clothes that are on the bed actually belong to Amos and Eleanor Deason, who are the original owners of the home.
Now, is this bloodstains on it?
We're not exactly sure. Some family member had them, like in a trunk or something, so it could be water damage.
Right.
We don't have a whole lot of information. At least I don't have a whole lot of information about them.
Does it feel like it's
I don't feel like it's blood, no.
Right.
To me, it looks like water damage.
But it's wild that, you know, I mean, this was from the era, you know, that it's something, a personal effect that they wore at the time, you know.
Now, see, I didn't know while we were in her earlier area, I kept getting that 4 children were lost or, you know, had passed, that this was the birthing room. I had no idea. So now that, you know, me feeling all that makes a lot of sense now. And Tammy, I think, validated that she had lost children, so,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well,
I'm not sure. It was probably, if someone lost children in this room, it was probably Miss Anderson.
Okay.
Because when the Deasons moved here, they were older and their daughters were teenagers
Right.
then.
Yeah, but I don't know, I'm still feeling, and maybe it didn't happen here, but I'm feeling that energy holding that dress that she did lose. So, I don't know. So, I don't know.
maybe that'll come out as an investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think Tammy
That's
did
all.
the genealogy on Miss Deason, and I think she did find that she had lost children.
Is Tammy stepped out, I guess?
Yeah, but yeah, I think so.
One of the experiences, we get a lot of flashlight play in this room. Ladies have reported their hair being pulled, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was one night we were here with a group and you could hear boot steps in the attic.
Well, tonight we've got, I guess, I'm not sure how many cameras we've got out. William, you know, 8?
12.
Yeah.
No, we ain't got 12 out, do we?
No.
I was just covering what you said.
I think we have 8 cameras, and we're trying to set up the connect box in there to put the 9th camera on. We've got remote audio. We've got one up in the attic, so maybe we can catch a little bit there. We've got one in the long room. We've got one in the parlor up front as well, and we can monitor that from outside. We're probably just going to go out and go live, or we're already live again. We're just to go out and cut lights out and come back in and do an investigation. And we're going to be live on Periscope as well. Y'all like and share us on it, if you will. You know, let others know about us, you know. So they may find it interesting. We're not sure what Tracy may pick up tonight, you know.
Who knows?
We've got 2 Periscopes that we're running. One is SPI_MS, and the other is SPI_MS_2. You can also go to our website, which is southernparanormalms.com. We've got links to our Facebook page, to our Twitter page, and follow us on it and be notified when we go live. We've got many more next month, especially. We're going to be in the homeland city of Savannah, Georgia, on Friday the 13th at Moon River Brewery, our second trip there. We're hoping to have some of the same things happen before. I think you've been to Savannah a few times, haven't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I've been to Moon River. I think that's where I met you.
Right.
That's
It's a pretty wild place. And then the 14th, we're going to be at the Surreal Weed House, which ought to be a great investigation. There's been a lot of evidence picked up there. But all right, guys, let's do what we do best.
Let's do it.
All right. You still running on it?
Now, I will tell you,
All right, we got 20 on here.
during an open ghost hunt,
The big guy?
well, that's funny too, but this is the night that the
Let's
girl
get by there.
got scared.
Let's get one of these.
Do I?
Dave's got to get one of these. I know that's just light.
Light's pretty good?
Yes.
Tell you something not in front of Tracy.
I'm live.
Okay.
I'll be in there in a minute. But hey guys, what? Oh, we got the Connects running. Y'all check this. It's not picking you up. Oh, there you go. Got a Connects running here, so all said we got a monitor for shadow as well. Hope y'all enjoyed the. I mean, it's just an ad lib that we did on it. Let's see what some of the questions I can already see.
Yeah, that ghost took the camera or something.
Hey, David.
Goddamn voodoo. Lockdown.
Yeah, we're fixing to. We might as well go ahead and start turning these lights off, man. We're ready to go anyway.
I need to make sure this camera's adjusted just right.
Okay, I'll fetch go out there then. I'll holler back at you when I'm ready. We like to give a little walkthrough and a little psychic investigation here beforehand on it. And Tammy run off from us, and we needed her in there a while ago. But yeah, we're fixing to cut lights out. Oh. And here's the way we got the camera set up. If y'all want to take a look, that's inside the trailer. Somebody's got one in the kitchen. And we've got one. It's going lights out now. That's murder room, long room, parlor. Hey, David. And that's in the front room where they have. They used to keep the bodies in the wake when one passed away. We're at the Deason House in Ellisville, Mississippi. Our second time here. The first one we caught some really good EVPs, and I had one of my first personal experiences here. Hey Heath, man, what's going on, bud? Didn't see you online. I think that it's slowly going lights out in there. Well, I think we may be able to change your mind on some of the ones if you were to go along on some with us there, Mr. BSer. Which one you you're talking about the Connects? Yeah, it looks fine, man. You probably could go a little bit in on it. We're fixing to, like I said, I appreciate all the hearts, man. I appreciate y'all joining. If y'all would, share it, and let them know what we got. And we're fixing to go.
Powerful, aren't they?
What you got? Is it wireless?
The dynamic mics are just.
Did you listen?
What is it? Listen through those.
Thanks, Heath.
You're gonna end up wanting to get some whenever you get them.
Wow. Hey, Doyle. All right. What?
They're so clear though.
Oh no.
Yeah, and you can hear the EVP before even when it's recording. You can hear it through the dynamic mics because to record EVP, to hear it, you have to have dynamic mics.
Wow. Check it out.
He's gonna want this after.
Yeah,
Those are so comfortable too.
Yeah, they're very powerful, very clear too.
Hi.
Yeah, see?
They're bosses.
He wants it now.
Are there some?
Donald, what was you saying a while ago? You're saying was it close enough or something? You said something else afterwards, and I didn't catch it. I
I
guess.
think I was saying something on the audio stuff. It's kind of blurry.
Take over for a second.
They
are kind of blurry.
Wait, you need to watch the chat line, man. I didn't have to block one.
Okay.
Black one.
Yeah, sometimes people get on there and be rude and.
The comments.
I want to be this.
Huh?
I want to be this.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever I said about y'all, I was saying.
Can't be staged. Where's my close up? Go just make it blurry. Let's do this.
No, I think that's from
We are live in Ellisville, Mississippi at the Deason House. There's a movie coming out later this summer called Free State.
What?
It's actually about
State of Jones.
State of Jones.
Yes.
I thought it was Free State.
What's the
Anyway,
Break up group. Go in. How many we got? 10 people?
11.
5 each, and 5, 6. Something like that.
I'll sit out.
Like one group go in at a time.
I'll sit out and monitor.
I'm with you on it too.
I'll sit out and monitor for a little while.
My newbies.
It's up to you.
Rule of thumb, when you go in, we're going to have to break up in groups because it's so many of us, but when you go in, if you say something, say it out loud.
No whispering.
Don't whisper to your neighbor because then when we're listening for feedback, then we hear a whisper and we're like, say it out loud.
If you move, cough,
Burp,
anything
fart.
like that,
Throw up.
say that was me.
If
Say
your
it
stomach
out loud.
growls,
That was me.
Yeah, stomach growls. That's my tummy. I'm hungry.
And you have to get in and get.
it's not
try
that
to get
bad.
in a comfortable position and
stay there when they're doing the EVP sessions.
Shuffling can even be interpreted as an EVP.
Yeah.
You know, your mind it can be like matrixing when it comes. I mean, you can actually think something else is there.
But all my photos, just FYI, are not matrix. Even though Doyle says they are.
Or not what?
Did I say that out loud?
Oh, Doyle's an asshole.
I'm not Doyle. Oh,
Somebody said you got pretty hair.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have pretty hair. Well, thank you.
Me too.
Dodging a bullet. Is that what you're talking about?
So, any questions? If you get scared, if you go in, you get scared, then just let one of us that's with you know, hey, I want to go out.
GCOM.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Anything else?
I guess everyone's gonna stay in the same room.
Yeah, everybody getting this.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow the ones of the group when you get
Try not to
go
wander
in,
off.
stay together, and once they start an EVP, you got to be. It's better to
I
sit
tend to wander
down
off.
on the floor because.
Download.
The kinetic thing.
What I was talking to you about was like the stick figures and everything. That's what that is. It's pretty cool.
You tell me about the farm.
That story about the burgers.
Okay.
What about a folding chair?
A folding chair. Yeah, we can sit in a folding chair. Not the beds. Okay. And so.
I'm eavesdropping y'all's conversation.
Kind of like, and she went out of the room.
We're probably not going to right off the bat.
And
Philadelphia, Mississippi. What's going on?
the music, I think is
Starville.
Like the arm was off the shoulder. And we have that.
Pretty much anything.
If y'all haven't got on the other one, Donald has his, because I'm not sure. Who is Deep South Ghost? What's up?
Did you see the shadow on the second? The shadow went past the window.
I'm not sure how much longer my battery's going to last, but Donald will probably start up his.
Yeah, went right past
And his is SPI_MS_2. Okay, I'll ask Donald.
2110. Which one?
What's going on?
This one?
Yeah, that
Okay.
What y'all seeing?
I thought
She
was
tried
a
to put
shadow.
somebody out though.
What's the second one over?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you?
I seen an orb over here.
yeah, I seen that one too in the
Dalton,
corner right
Georgia.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that second one I seen. I mean, it was like fast and tall. It was at the head is at this very.
I can't see.
Yeah, just leave it on because I need it too a little bit right now.
Because when
I
I
just
seen it,
saw
I
it.
actually
I just
looked
saw
back
it.
thinking that that's actually behind me.
Now, one of the ladies said that she's had the drawers in the kitchen pulled out while she's here by herself.
That was neat.
What was it?
It was a faint blinking orb. It came down around here and then
Yeah,
shot
I
up.
saw that.
Oh, I just saw something, but it could be bug.
There's a lot of bugs.
You seen that big left side corner?
Yeah.
Can we take the flare in?
Yeah,
Is it ready to go?
yeah, it should be. Only thing with that, you can only do still shots
Pretty
now.
old.
Well, Stephanie just wants to be like Ghost Adventures and use it for a second.
You do not want to be like him.
Like who?
Whatever his name
Public
is.
service.
Crawls in that hole.
Zach?
Zach.
Oh.
What the crap?
Why'd you bring that
in?
It was make go down to the basement.
He done lost the weight.
Who wants to be?
I got the gun.
I want to be the fat guy.
Insert some gum. Handy. Johnny said, do you have any more candy?
Oh, can I have one? I'm a copper, so yeah, it'll be like
Lunch. Yeah, I wish.
videos.
That's a midnight snack right there.
All right.
Do you have any problems on here? Okay. Yeah, you can't trust orbs. Mostly are dust. It just depends on I mean, you got to look for an intelligent flight path, and you've got to look for something out of the ordinary. I mean, and then you're still, I mean, it could be up in there. I mean, but if we bring
excited about orbs. What's that lightning?
Yeah, look.
that right there
Yeah,
now,
did you see that? That
that's
started.
an orb.
That
You
is
know, but
crazy.
I didn't see anything.
camera 7 right now on it there, Beck.
That was awesome.
Yes, it
It
was.
was flashing.
It started on the bed.
You see it?
Look at that one.
It's like
But the last one was flashing on it.
Yeah, it was big too.
How much battery you got, Doyle?
I don't know.
Did you
Yeah,
charge
that one was
the?
pretty awesome. I've never seen one like that before.
Flashing.
Blinking like that. But it looked like it was like an orb inside of an orb.
It did. Like purple.
Right, it looked like it had like a clear area. That was cool. I've never seen one like that before.
at the asylum in West Virginia. I took a picture and it's two orbs. One's pink and one's blue.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
really?
seen that. I've seen that.
But it's not an orb according to our boss.
It's your mind making crap up.
This is also the same one who does the time.
And where's you?
All right, guys.
And on
Sorry.
the property is another house, and it's the F.W. Williams house.
We're gonna cut this off for a little bit. I got mine charging right now, and just a little bit. We're gonna be going inside and letting you monitor the live EVP sessions and stuff like that. Anyway, check back with us in a little bit. Appreciate y'all viewing. Check out our website for our other videos and places where we're going. And we'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Thanks, guys.